And there's an article on CNN that basically said that uh it's like the American Medical Association kind of started it, as far
Yeah.
as trying to ban abortions. It's a lot to it, man. But I try to get to the main things so I could talk about, just like the main things that I wanted to discuss.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I mean, we're obviously live right now. One thing I also
Uh,
want to point out too is that we kind of have to figure out a way where we can kind of let everyone know that we're live because there's no real notification, right? Like on Facebook, there's a notification that we're going live, right? I think.
there
And
isn't one.
I mean, it's not on like so I was talking with someone over the weekend and they're like, yeah, we go. I mean, I didn't know it's on YouTube, but I like wait for like the events, whatever. So I didn't yeah, it's we got some things to kind of
I mean, you wait for the event and you go click on the link, right?
yeah, I think we can make it a little bit more seamless though. So
Okay. Okay.
so we'll have to figure that out. It's a whole learning process. Like even right now, I need to get to the event. Um and yeah, I need to. So it's happening now. Let me actually share. Actually, see, suck at this.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. See, but we don't. Oh, I'm about to send our Zoom link. I was about to send the Zoom link on on the share that. So we may have like some random people kind of like joining us, which is embarrassing. Um, but
Wait, did you really send it out?
no, no, I did not send it out.
Okay.
I did not send it out. So
Be ready to hit mute.
well, I have to kick him out, right? So I have to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
kick
yeah.
them out and hopefully they don't try to rejoin again or we have to like recreate another story and that's just all weird. So uh yeah. All right. Also, for whatever reason, the tooltip has my awkward face on it. So whatever. Let's get started. Welcome to the Targeted Podcast. Uh, this is my name is Zahid. That is Nicholas. And we are going to be talking about um some effed up
A
shit
lot.
today.
Yeah, a lot is happening right now, man. We
Yeah, a
got.
lot.
I
The
mean,
world is on
if you're
fire
alive,
as usual. So
exactly. Unless you're
um
living in Iraq, you know that if you're a woman, your rights are being violated right now. Let's make it is. It is what it is. Being your rights are being tested right now.
yes, absolutely. So
But
that
on a lighter note,
sucks.
yeah.
That
But on
sucks.
a lighter note, we'll also be talking about the What If series on Disney Plus from Marvel, which I've really enjoyed so far. Actually, the last episode I saw was kind of yeah, but
Yeah.
the other ones I've seen have been good.
Yeah. Well, you liked the last episode? I kind of liked the previous episode. I need to fix our Zoom thing. What's this immersive? Oh, snap. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm kind of
What is
screwing around
that?
with Zoom right now. All right, we'll do this later.
This guy, this guy.
Yeah, no, Zoom was doing like the one screen at a time thing, and I wanted to kind of show us like side by side. So,
Oh,
okay, yeah, no, so let's go ahead and get started in this law. It is just super frustrating. Um, like Texas, I feel like Texas and Florida is kind of in a race for like the bottom state right now, as like how it's like it's like
yeah,
no,
yeah,
we make a shitty law. No, we're making a shitty law.
yeah,
So it's like they can't like outdo each other.
yeah.
Like
Florida
Texas and
has to stand their
laws.
ground.
Yeah,
Texas
the
has
like
abortion.
yeah. So Texas they passed recently to the the voter restriction law. They just passed this abortion law. Well, they didn't pass abortion law. Is the Supreme Court failed to act on the abortion law, and I think there was a 5-4 vote. I think you got the information on this, right? A 5-4 vote, which kind of allowed this abortion law to go into effect. I'm sure
Oh
you'll
no,
give
it's
us.
a law. It's law.
Yeah, it's a
It's
law,
law.
but Supreme Court, it went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court voted to kick it back down to the lower courts, 5-4,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So there's that. They had a gun law passed recently that you don't need like a permit to like open carry, which that makes perfect sense.
Take it
Um,
back to the Wild West, baby.
yeah, I know, right? Um, of course, I'm sure he's just trying to do all this so we can forget the fact that he let a state freeze to death. Because and COVID's probably running wild there, as it is everywhere, but pretty heavily in
There's no
Texas and Florida.
probably.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot that I want to talk about this law, but let's go ahead. Let's kick it off to you and like what you have to say about it. I can go on for days about just how stupid it is. I kind of want to focus a little
Yeah.
bit more on the
Was
why they're doing this, because I feel like this is
yeah.
more along the lines of trying to impress their evangelical like base, and they're doing anything they can to do that by voters, not just voters rights, but gun laws and this. But yeah, we can get into that later. Go ahead and like tell us what you've learned through all the specifics of this voter law.
Yeah. So there's a lot to it, right? And first of all, before I say anything, I do believe in a woman's right to choose first and foremost. Um, but I just went back and looked at Roe versus Wade, and just so y'all know, you know what I mean. I didn't use any BS sources, right? I went to the Judicial Archive of the Supreme Court
Ha!
uh, to take a look at the Roe versus Wade case. And what you might not know is that the case itself, there isn't necessarily a law banning abortions, right?
Yeah.
Or making abortion legal. It's just that the result of the case made it so that they could continue to be done.
Yeah.
And so let's take it back. So the case took place in 1970. Roe is actually the fictional name that was used in the court documents by the woman who brought the case forward. And then she filed a lawsuit against Henry Wade, who was a district attorney in Dallas, Texas, where she resided.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, what she was saying is that she wanted to challenge for herself and on behalf of other women in her position. She challenged a Texas law that made abortion illegal, except by doctor's orders to save a woman's life. And she alleges that the state's laws were unconstitutionally vague and abridged her right of personal privacy, which is protected by a number of amendments, specifically the First, Fourth, Fifth, Ninth, and 14th Amendments, right?
Yeah.
So the result of the case, the court finds that she's covered basically under the 14th Amendment, which protects your fundamental right to privacy. So that protects a pregnant woman's right to choose whether or not she decides to have an abortion. And so the basically found that Texas law challenging the case violated that right. The judges vote 7-2. So that's how that went down. And so, you fast forward to now, and all of a sudden you have this new law now, again from Texas, which essentially makes it illegal to have an abortion after the woman has been pregnant for 6 weeks. And 6 weeks, I mean, I have 2 kids, right? So after 6 weeks, you may or may not know that you're even the woman may or may not even know that she's pregnant at that
Right.
And so, I mean, what that does is basically make it so that it's almost impossible for you to get an abortion unless your life is in danger, pretty much. And so this new law, I'm about to open it up right now. Hold on one second. Hopefully I didn't lose you.
You didn't lose me, but I am alone on video now.
All
Okay.
right, hold on one second.
Yeah.
I have to bring up my. Okay. It's the only thing about. Don't do this to me.
Don't worry, no one's watching.
Oh my god,
Everyone's watching. What
dude!
happened?
I had the freaking thing up here, like ready to discuss it, and here comes the New
Uh,
York Times saying like, you need to subscribe if you want to read this content. It's like, and it had like everything in there basically that the law talks about. But to
do you want to send me the
summarize,
link? I can read it because I have a New York Times subscription.
okay.
Yeah, I'm
But
fancy
to
like that.
summarize, huh?
I'm fancy like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's the one downside to doing things the way I'm doing it right here. But I'm gonna summarize though.
Yeah.
Give me one. What's your? Let me see. Let me see if I have you. Ooh, no, I
Can
don't
you
think
send it
I
to me to
have your.
Telegram or what?
Oh yeah. Hold on.
We're
Here we go.
super professional right now.
I mean, sometimes it is what it is,
It
man.
is what it
We have
is.
to.
It is what it is. We
We
do our
have
best.
to. We
We have
I was
day
ready.
jobs.
I was ready to walk through it all because that's kind of
Yeah.
what I wanted to do. But
There we go.
so
Got it.
you had the 6 week thing.
Yeah.
And then the interesting piece of it is that um, it makes it so that civilians can sue if an
Oh,
abortion is performed. And you can't sue the person who's getting the abortion, but you can sue the medical professional who's performing it.
yeah.
And that piece of the law uh, makes it difficult to challenge, at least from what I've read, right? And it just came
Oh,
out today that the Department of Justice is suing suing I guess the state of Texas
yeah.
over this law. But
Yeah.
the way it's written is like, yeah, I can, if I find out that you had an abortion, not I can't sue you, but I can sue the clinic that performed it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if I win the case, I don't have to pay any legal fees. I think my legal fees will be covered up to $10,000. And there's some other things
Can you see my
that
screen,
I
by the
get as
way?
well.
I'm kind of
Yes,
sharing.
yes, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just tell me when.
So let me.
We lost you again.
All right. So let's see here. Um, yeah, scroll down a little bit. So the other big thing too is that they're talking about cardiac activity, right? So
Oh, yeah.
um, before Roe versus Wade, because abortion has the act of abortion has been around for many years and years.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Oh, yeah.
going back to like the 19th century, right?
Yeah.
And it used to be that they would decide whether or not you could do an abortion based on the whether or not the quickening had occurred, right? And the quickening was a term to describe when a woman knew or could feel the fetus inside of her, like moving around,
Wow.
like some activity from the fetus. And I'm assuming that because advances in medicine, technology, et cetera, we know that even though the woman may not be able to feel it, there's still other things that are
Yeah.
going on and developing, and so they kept moving the time that you could have the abortion further and further back.
Yeah.
And so come to today with this law, it's like 6 weeks now, and it makes it just pretty much impossible for
Yeah.
anything to happen.
Yeah.
So that's what I found interesting. Oh, stop right here. So
Yeah.
this is another thing too, where they were saying that um, the law may actually reach beyond the border of Texas, right?
Wow.
So they're saying that I don't want to like just sit here and read it or whatever. But basically, oh, here it is. Residents of other states can sue someone who helps a Texan get an abortion. So let's say you're a Texas citizen, you come out here to Virginia, you get an abortion, you could theoretically sue the clinic or the medical professional who performed it
Wow.
and get them in trouble. So the law, and we're talking about the law here, right? So the one thing that I took away from my law class is that you have to go exactly by the language of, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if there's no specific language saying otherwise, then you have to go by boom, this letter of the law. So
Yeah.
if it doesn't say that, hey, it's just you were in Texas and it's only in Texas or whatever, then theoretically I can get you.
But I'm wondering how that works because you can sue the clinic, right? So you're suing a Virginia clinic, I guess in Texas though. So interesting. So because that still take place in Texas court. So yeah, that's nuts. Oh my God. Yeah. There's a lot that I want to talk more about this, but anything else you want to kind of hit up?
You can go down here too. So about the defenses.
Okay.
So they're saying that the only valid argument for defense if they act on the belief after conducting some investigation that the physician performing or inducing the abortion had complied or would comply with the ban. So this is basically like it's predicated on whether or not the medical professional performed a proper investigation on the woman to determine whether or not the pregnancy fell within the terms of the law.
Yeah.
So, they could say that they did, and that might be like their only defense, right? Because there might not be a way to prove it because by the time they go to court, the abortion's already been performed.
Right.
So it's kind of maybe the only way around it. Not that, you know, I'm not trying to say like we have to find a way around this, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, this is crazy right here, right?
Very
All
much.
because we're trying to have this control over whether or not a woman should be able to give birth, which I think is ridiculous. I mean, whether or not you agree with abortions being able to take place, in my opinion, it's not about like, oh, you think it's okay, you don't think it's okay. It's at the end of the day, like that's their choice. Like you're not. I believe in God. I'm a Christian, right? So I believe you get judged for your actions,
Mhm.
and that determines where you go, what happens to you in the afterlife, right?
Yeah.
So it's not for me to stop you from doing everything, right? It's if that's the choice that you made, that's what you're gonna have to live with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, no, thank you for sharing all that information. I
And
was
I'm gonna put this. I'll put the link in the video too. I know sometimes it takes me a little while, but
yeah.
it'll get there eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. I was busy like kind of moving things around too. So you guys got a heavy dose of what's in my tabs as well for um uh
Don't worry. I didn't.
for
I didn't see. I won't say anything about that OnlyFans.
oh my God. Hey, I'm trying to get two jobs, someone's willing to pay. No, no, it's so I think you hit the nail right on the head about faith, right? Um, so one of the things I was thinking about earlier today was if there was an Olympic sport for pearl clutching, right? United States will like win that like all the time, right? I mean, and
Yeah.
like they essentially what you made a great point too, or you talked about how the way the law is written, someone can sue you can't sue the woman, but you can sue the doctor's office, right?
Mhm.
And what Texas did is that they developed these websites to to pretty much snitch on clinics, right? So so there are a bunch of websites now that's popped up, like run by Texas, that's where they're going to report to say, hey, I suspect this person's having an abortion. This is the website to like
Hey, can you share that? You did you find one?
yeah, no, there are a couple. I don't want to. I can look right now.
Opening it,
A lot of
opening the
people
window.
are like trying to hack the sites and like crash them or whatever, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's called the. I can share this right quick. It's the whistleblower website, right?
Mm.
So it's essentially a website for Karens, if you think about it. That Texas whistleblower website forced offline. So this is pretty much a website that's used right here. Troubles for mounting for a Texas website used to report violations of the state's extreme abortion law. So this is actually the site. I don't think this is the site right here. Okay, but yeah, this is the actual whistleblower website, right? That people use to report, right,
That's
abortions.
wild.
So they created a
That is
website
wild.
for evangelical Karens to kind of snitch on people, which is just so ludicrous about this, right? How ludicrous is this? And me growing up in Louisiana, right? So hung out with a lot of like evangelical Christians and whatnot. Um, it's amazing how some of these people, not all obviously, but some, um, want to like push their faith and their morality on others, right? And it amazes me how limited their faith and morality is. Um, so it's just super frustrating to kind of to see what's going on with that. And I mean, I can go on for days. I do want to talk about a guy named Phil Vischer, right? So Phil Vischer is an evangelical podcaster, like makes videos, right? And I don't want to put this label on him. He does some of his like beliefs lens on the more progressive side of things, but again, I don't want to put this label on him. But I watched this video like months ago about like abortion, and what you said perfectly, or what you said earlier, right? Reversing. There seems to be this ideology within like the right, um, that reversing Roe v. Wade, like abolishes abortion. It does not, right? It says what you just said it does, right? It gives some people the immunity and the right to have one, and to have one safely, right? That's
Right.
a key piece of this. Like this law right here that Texas passed, like what it only means is that people who can't afford to have an abortion, right, won't be able to have one. Like the people who have the money to have the abortions will have them. Will find those safe havens to have an abortion, right? It is truly a way to control women's bodies, um, and a way to control people who are less fortunate, right? So this guy, Phil Fisher, he points out what you pointed out earlier, right? Reversing Roe v. Wade doesn't ban abortions, but he also pointed out something I thought was really interesting too, as well, was that uh, abortions have been reducing over the last 30 years. And a huge part of that is access to contraception, access to healthcare. When you actually support women, right, and give them the healthcare they need, abortions go
Yeah.
down, right? And it truly amazes me how we don't focus on that aspect. If these people were so gracious and so good, they will focus on the proven methods that
Right.
reduces abortion, right? And not making some shithole law to impress your evangelical people who just want to just prove how morally like righteous they are by trying to force their beliefs on other people, right? That's not how it
Yeah.
works. That's not how it should work, right? I remember, so I did watch the news earlier this week during a press conference. I'm pretty sure it's a Fox News, a Fox News reporter. So
Good old
um,
Fox.
those guys. I won't, I won't play the video, but the press recorder. So the reporter asked Jen Psaki, the is it chief of staff or the spokesman for the White House, right?
Hmm.
About why would Joe Biden with his Catholic faith support abortion? And I think she went in and she grilled into him and said, well, he agrees with the woman's rights to choose. And that's great. I also wish he kind of grilled him and say, it's freedom of religion, right? Do you not understand that concept? Right. And
No,
it's
they
some
don't.
people, they
Not
just
not
don't
that
get
group.
it. It's like, well, this person's
Not that
Catholic.
group.
Why does he support abortion? It's like, your religion shouldn't matter. The religion should be a non-factor here. That's the whole point of freedom of religion, right? Where people of different faiths can follow or choose not to follow certain things, right? So it kind of annoys me that there are just some people who can't think that, who don't want to think that way. Um, I mean, I feel like these guys are super privileged, right? Because me being a Muslim, like growing up in this country, I've always had to think that other people don't. There are things about my faith that other people don't agree with, and vice versa, right? And that forces you to have an open mind. These people don't think that way, and they don't want to think that way, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's just
So
it's
I
just
wanted
not a
to,
thing.
I wanted to um, read something from a news conference with Attorney General Garland.
Yes.
What he was saying, right? So he was basically saying that the Texas law was designed specifically with the goal of making it more difficult for clinics to obtain federal court orders blocking enforcement of the law. Instead
Mm-hmm.
of creating criminal penalties for abortions conducted after a heartbeat is detected, the Texas legislature has tasked private citizens with enforcing the law by bringing private litigation against clinics and anyone else who assists a woman in obtaining an abortion after 6 weeks.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
that is nuts and insane.
And that's kind of how they get around the whole constitutional piece because they put it on the private
Yeah,
citizens and not the
yeah.
it's
It's
it's crazy.
like, again, it's a race to the bottom between them and Florida. And because I
Yeah,
already
that
know
stand your
Florida,
ground law got to go, man.
yeah, because I know Florida is also considering um a similar law as well. So it's um it's nuts, right? I, I
Yeah,
I can go on
yeah.
for so long about
Yeah.
this.
I mean, we just like just go on because I mean, I'm a father,
Yeah,
and this is just like if something happened to my child, God forbid, right? I mean,
mhm.
I don't want her to have to live with that. I don't, I want her to be able
Yeah.
to make the decision, right?
So let's even talk about that more too. I didn't even play. I'm tempted. I don't have the video queued up. I wanted to play. So Governor Texas Abbott, he was asked a question during this conference after they signed this abysmal piece of shit of a law, about um, like, what about of rape of incest, right? Like, why would you force a woman to have um like, why would you pretty much prevent a woman from having an abortion if it's of like rape, right?
Yeah.
And this this person, this individual, this Texas governor, right, says, well, you have the 6 weeks, right, which we both discussed is not nearly enough time, right? um and he also says, well, we're also going to work to make sure that rape is illegal, so women shouldn't have to worry about that because rape is illegal. And of course, idiots were like started clapping and like, what are you talking about right now? So
Rape has
what's
been
your plan
illegal
here?
last I
Are you gonna
checked.
have are you gonna have like the Minority Report or some shit happening, like where people can like pre-predict freaking like rape things and have them arrested? Like, what kind of stupid nonsense is that?
God.
Right? Like, like like running red lights are illegal, so you're gonna prevent people from like doing that? I mean, the logic here just makes no sense. And oh my god, it's just nuts that they.
It isn't
I
logical. It's just
I have
not.
no idea how they're gonna get how they're going to get this passed. Just to let you know. I also wanted to point out President Trump. His life was pretty much saved by an aborted fetus. Just to let you know. Um, Like so
Right, because what the treatment was the result
the
of.
the treatment was a result of a abortion, was helped because so the cells that they use were derived from an abortion that happened in like 1970 from a woman in Amsterdam. So they're able to like trace back that fetus, right?
Mm,
Um, Also, Florida's governor, like Ron DeSantis, he wants like, you know how they have like super lax like COVID regulations. He wants his like constituents to be able to take that drug, which is like $1,000 a pop. So, I mean, whatever. Just point out that it was made by an aborted fetus, and you guys are hypocrites. Like that's
yeah.
kind of what I want to point out there. Um, yeah, man, it's nuts. Hopefully we will persevere. Oh, can I also point out one thing too? Donald Trump got to pick what, three Supreme Court justices? Three? He
Yeah.
he lost the election twice. No, he lost the popular vote twice, and he gets three Supreme Court justices. Like it just shows that we're going to be dealing with the 2016 election for the rest of our lives, right?
Yeah,
Um,
pretty much.
and yeah, we're going to be dealing with this crap for the rest of our lives. And like from everyone, we all need to kind of be alert and aware of what's happening. We all need to make sure we vote. Democrats need to grow some balls and like end the filibuster, expand the port, expand the court, all sorts of shit.
Well,
There's so many things that they need to do, but they're not going to, um, because there are a bunch of moderates there that are. I can go on for
I
that.
mean, it's gonna be a battle, man.
It's gonna be. It's gonna
All
be.
that change is gonna
We're
be
gonna
a
be
battle.
dealing with this shit for a long time, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so let's go ahead
On
and
a
have a
lighter
discuss.
note,
Yeah, on a lighter note, we're gonna do a hard segue past this abortion law, um, and we're going to do. Oh, we got some viewers, so we're going to be talking about Marvel's What If, right? But normally I do a lot more research on like some of the kind of hidden gems within like these shows. Um, this week's been sucked. This week's been sucky for me. It's been a busy week. So um
yeah.
I've caught up on all the episodes. Nicholas, you which episode did you the last What If episode you watch?
Last one I saw was everybody. All like all the Avengers got murdered before he could
Oh,
make the team.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You didn't watch the one afterwards. Um
Is that zombies or no? That was
Zombies.
Doctor Strange, right?
Zombies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'll be honest with you, I wasn't a fan of that
I
episode.
mean, yeah, I don't really like that premise. Like DC and Marvel have both done this thing where like zombies overrun everything,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. So I was just
Yeah.
like, but even initially, like the whole what if premise, I was just like, who cares? But when I watched it, because you get to learn about like who the Watcher is,
Yeah.
and I like the Peggy Carter episode. I
I
actually
like
really
that
dug
one a
that
lot too.
one. And obviously like the Chadwick Bose, the Black Panther one, where
That was a really good episode.
what if the Ravagers picked him up? I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Definitely tugged at the heart to hear Chadwick Boseman
Yeah.
as the child on one more time. I still think they should recast it, but
I think so too.
it definitely tugged at the heartstrings for that.
Yeah. Jeffrey Wright is the guy who plays the Watcher. If you don't know who Jeffrey Wright is, he was Eric. No, he played in James Bond. God, I forgot what role
He
he
was
plays in
Felix
James Bond.
Leiter, right?
Yeah, Felix Leiter.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was Felix Leiter in James Bond. He also played in the Hunger Games, if
I
you guys
remember
remember that
that.
series, as well. So he's been
Yeah,
around.
I like him.
Yeah, he's a veteran.
He's Jim Gordon in the new Batman movie too.
Yes, yes, he is the first Black Jim Gordon. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Oh,
makes you
I'm
wonder.
forgetting, man. He was in Westworld, and that Westworld, I love that
Ah,
show. Yeah, he was in
yes.
Westworld.
I actually did not watch Westworld.
What?
So
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got HBO Max. You need to go do that.
Yeah, well, I heard the last season
Exactly.
of Westworld wasn't worth it, so
Has there been two or three?
I think it's 3 seasons, and people loved it the first 2 seasons, and they said it fell off hard on like the last season. Um,
I
so
disagree, but you know.
yeah, maybe I'll watch it. Um, let's get back to What If. So yeah, I really liked the first episode. I think what they're doing with What If is that they're really trying to get people used to the multiverse, right? So
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
really are reinforcing this issue. You saw it mentioned a little bit with Spider-Man Far From Home.
yeah.
Um, Doctor Strange is gonna have his own multiverse of madness that's coming out. Uh, Shang-Chi,
Mm,
excuse me.
mm,
Um,
mm.
it's Shang-Chi.
Who?
I was trying not to say Shang-Chi because that's like how we normally pronounce that, but if you watch the movie,
I'm
it's
definitely guilty of that.
yeah, it's pronounced Shang-Chi. So trying to make sure I get that correct. But they mentioned that a little bit in the movie. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Um
No, I have not seen it
it's
yet.
it's mentioned a little bit in the movie, the multiverse. Obviously they're doing Multiverse of Madness, and obviously the next Spider-Man movie that's coming out looks like it's gonna be some crazy multiverse action with so many different villains. Jamie
Yeah,
Foxx is gonna be in it. Otto Octavius is gonna be in it. Rumor has it that the previous two Spider-Mans are gonna be in it. So again, I think this What If
yeah.
series, they're really just trying to get people more acclimated into that. I can see your water bottle, by the way.
Oh, let me move that.
He's this awkward water bottle.
What can I
So
say, man?
yeah, I think that's exactly what they're trying to get people used to. Um,
Hmm.
I think Doctor Strange has been in I think 2 episodes of the multiverse. We can talk about the last episode of the last the one that you watched, Doctor Strange. Did you see that one?
What other? Wait a minute. What other episode was he in,
Um
or
oh, he
is
was
he
in
in?
the he was in the zombies one, but he wasn't really in it. So never mind. Just ignore I said that.
He was dead. He was a
Yeah,
zombie,
he was a zombie. Um
which makes me wonder. Like, I guess I'd have to. Did they show how people became, how the zombie apocalypse happened?
yeah, they talked about it. I didn't
Okay.
agree with the concept of zombies. Um because like some of these Avengers were zombies, but the purpose of zombies is that they're stupid, right? Like they don't,
Yeah.
so they shouldn't be able to use their powers if they're zombies. That's just my 2 cents. So,
I
um,
mean, I don't know,
just
because
watch the episode.
all
When you
right,
watch the episode, you'll be like, wait, what? That's how I felt.
it just makes me wonder, like, how somebody like Doctor Strange could fall under that, right? Because you have your magic, like you should just be able to do something where at least
I
you
have
you
all
know you do your whatever and you're good.
I have all sorts of questions about that, right? Just go ahead and watch that, and that could probably be its own like thing. I don't think any of these are canon, by the way. Any of these episodes are canon, right?
No,
Um,
none of them are canon.
yeah. I mean, I haven't read that
It's just what he
specifically.
says on another Earth in another timeline.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, I don't know if we'll be seeing this information from this timeline. The Doctor Strange episode I thought was really interesting. Um, because that was probably more multiverse than everything, though that universe technically got destroyed, right?
Mm,
But it talked about him absorbing different magical like beings or whatever. So I thought that was really interesting.
mm.
So you saw that episode, right? The Doctor Strange episode? You
I was
did it?
supposed to watch him. I did. So I was
You
supposed to watch him yesterday, right?
did.
And we can still talk about it, man. I don't care about spoilers for this
Okay.
stuff. But I was supposed to watch it yesterday, but just kids work, and I was just tired.
I hear you.
I watched one yesterday. Yeah, I watched the where everybody got murked yesterday, and I looked at the clock and I was like,
Let's talk about that.
dude,
Let's talk
you
about
gotta
that.
you gotta get
Let's talk
you gotta get
about
together.
Was it Hank Pym killing everyone?
Yeah,
he
yeah.
killed all the Avengers, which I'm shocked
As
that he
Yellow
killed.
Jacket,
Huh?
as with the Yellow Jacket armor, not the Ant Man
Oh,
suit, right?
yeah,
Which I thought
actually,
was interesting.
yeah, no, that's
Right? Did
pretty
you see that?
cool. No, I actually
Yeah.
did not notice that. So no. Yeah, so no, he was destroying everyone. Um, and I'm surprised he was able to kill Thor. That's a shocker. Like I know Thor didn't have his hammer at the time. So
I think that's the
um
only reason why it was plausible because he,
yeah,
when he in the first movie when he came down there, whatever, he didn't have any of his abilities. Like his pops took him away and
yeah,
sent him to Earth. So you know,
yeah. Which questions me a little bit more about Thor's abilities, but um yeah, no, that was a very interesting episode. I thought it was really interesting how Tom Hiddleston's Loki kind of came in and he seemed like he was kind of like a good guy. And he goes and he helps him stop like Hank Pym, and then he goes, "Okay, okay, we're done. Oh, I think I'm gonna stay a little bit longer. Like I'm gonna let me take over. I'm gonna take over
yeah, that
Earth
was
right
funny,
now."
man. That was funny. That was
Yeah.
funny.
And then he calls like Cara Danvers, Captain Marvel. I'm like, and she's like, "Where's the fight?" I'm like, "Okay, well, this is over because she's way overpowered."
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just I don't even get into that. I actually rewatched that movie the other day.
Captain.
There was nothing on. There was nothing on.
Yeah, yeah, she's super overpowered. Yeah, but no, I think those were pretty good episodes. I like the first episode a lot. The T'Challa episode was a super tearjerker for me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny how they had like Thanos in that episode as well. Like
He was like happy,
yeah, he was all happy. He's like, I mean, I was gonna snap the universe, but he convinced me not to. So yeah.
right?
And
But I
it's
mean,
like,
that's it's because T'Challa's like a genius, man.
yeah. Well, I
He,
mean, it's like they're like, that's murder, right? He goes, yeah, but it's efficient. Right. So yeah, no, that was a great that was a super good episode. It was kind of a bit of a heist episode, right? Like it
yeah,
was kind of a heist. It had a heist feel to it because they were
yeah.
trying to like steal something from like uh
Hmm.
the collector who was kind of yoked in that.
Collector was jacked in that
Yeah,
joint,
he was
right?
kind of yoked. He was like, let's go. And I was like, damn, okay, look at this guy. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I thought that was a pretty great episode there. Man, I'm surprised you haven't watched the other ones. All right, so you don't care about spoilers, right? I'll tell you a little bit about the latest.
Oh, not for this one.
Yeah,
Shang-Chi, I would be mad if you did
yeah.
spoilers
No,
for it.
I won't tell you spoilers for Shang-Chi, which is a great. I will say this: we're going a little off the rails here. So Shang-Chi, right? Um, I can't wait till you watch it so we can kind of review it together. But some of the best fighting scenes. Some of the best
Really?
fighting scenes in the Marvel universe, right?
Okay.
Is in that movie. So what's funny is that I read an article that said that ranked that gave like the top 15 like fighting scenes like right after the Shang-Chi came out. And I was like, well, watch Shang-Chi have like seven of these, seven of like a top 15. I mean, there's a little bit of recency bias in like the list I didn't agree with at all. Like, for example, one of my favorite fight scenes was in Black Panther, the casino scene with the single shot up and down around the area. They didn't
Mm.
include that in their 15, which is lame. But yeah, great, 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 great fight scenes, great story.
All
Definitely
right.
excited for you to watch that. You can't
Is
watch
it?
it on
Is
Disney
it?
Plus because it's
I
not
know.
there. They learned their lesson from Scarlet Witch, like from like Scarlett Johansson, right? So
I
um
mean, if I guess she has a point. If it depends on how they did her contract,
yeah, yeah.
So I mean, she
It
probably has a
sounds
case. Like,
like it sounds. I know we're a little off the rails here. It sounds like so they rely heavily on box office revenue for their salaries, it looks like.
Right.
And it almost felt like just the way Disney responded to her lawsuit, it almost sounded like just very douches in the sense like, oh, we didn't really want to do this movie and you should be happy or whatever. That's what it sounded like to me. How I
Mm.
interpreted how they responded, because they did not respond kindly. They're like, we did everything right with this film and we are floored by this lawsuit. And it was just, this isn't like Kevin Feige. This is like Disney execs like
Yeah.
giving her the business on this. So that's shocking. Um, yeah, so I'm excited to see like what else is happening with What If. Um, it's definitely not something that you need to watch. I think it's just for me, the way I see it is really reinforcing um the Marvel multiverse. And
Some multiverse. Yeah.
I think it's kind of a mix between now and what they have next. I don't know what's after um this series, because it was Loki, then it's What If, then I don't know what
I
other
think
show.
it's oh, you got Ms. Marvel
Ah, but yeah,
and
Miss Marvel, Armor Wars. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff down the pipe. I think Miss Marvel's
and
next though.
and my girl, what's her name, man?
Oh, Ironheart.
Uh yeah,
Ironheart.
Riri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Riri
So
Williams? What's her name?
I think so. I think so, yeah. Yep.
Uh, yeah, I am excited for that. So
So
we'll see how that
should be
works.
good, man. I mean, there's a rumor that she's gonna show up in the Black Panther sequel.
Really?
So because I think Letitia Wright's character, Letitia, Sherry is supposed to be studying at MIT or something like that, and
Really?
Riri is at MIT as well. Yeah, that's the
Okay.
rumor. Not sure.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why her character would be studying at MIT because she's already smart enough. But that's interesting.
Or
Huh.
she might be teaching. You know what I mean? Like it could be anything.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
nice. And it makes me wonder
So
if she would help her build that armor too. That can also be a thing.
I think if she's there, I don't think she helps her. I think she just stumbles across her and you know, she they find out, kindred spirit type deal, and she
Yeah,
probably mentors Riri. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that she doesn't just help her. I don't want her to help her build it.
yeah,
I'd rather Riri have the opportunity to show off what she could do on her own without it being like, Wakanda, okay, vibranium suit, everything's perfect now. I don't want that.
yeah. Nope.
So
You don't want to give her that black like Captain America like feel to his suit, which the Wakanda just essentially just deck it out all
yeah, I mean, well,
vibranium.
I understand him doing that, right?
Yeah,
Because if they don't, then he's just relying on like the American government and just whatever
yeah,
they have or whatever. So him doing that, I understand because he's not going to build something like that, right?
yeah,
So if it was just me and I wanted the best suit technology had to offer, I'm going to Wakanda. you know, you know what I mean. I'm not going over into the states. You saw what happened in War Machine. I don't want
yeah.
that.
No, that's messed up. Oh my god. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. It's actually been a pretty solid series. It's a great kind of away from it. Interesting thing about the What If series. So Robert Downey Jr. is not in it, as well as Chris
Yeah.
Evans is not in as well. They did say that they're kind of recasting. I did read some articles about them recasting Drax the Destroyer and Spider-Man. I don't know how true that is at all. I just read the titles of the articles and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna give it any
I
time.
feel like it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just an animated series. Like when I
Yeah,
saw those headlines, I felt like it was more like clickbait. Like, oh, they're
yeah,
recasting. Da, 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 da. And it's
yeah,
like if
yeah.
I'm the
I saw those
star
headlines
of the
too.
movie, I
Yeah.
don't care about stupid
Well,
animated series.
well, yeah. Drax also, by the way, Drax the Destroyer is also so. Dave Batista. He's also, I think, it's not Thor. He's going to be in the next Thor movie, but the his last movie is actually going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, right? The last one.
Mhm.
Because he says he's getting older, he doesn't feel like having to work out and like take his shirt off all the time and all that stuff. And I definitely agree with that.
I mean,
So
I get it.
yeah, I get it
I get
too.
it.
Um yeah,
That's why
so
I'm
no,
hoping. I got to bring him up, but that's why I'm hoping DC doesn't waste too much of the Rock's time because that guy, he's a physical specimen. But I mean, don't take another 10 years between movies.
definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
This is also
You know,
true. Like he's not going to be in the Shazam movie. The next
that's what I'm
Shazam.
saying. It's just a waste. It's a waste.
Yeah, I don't think they know what they have. They don't. I don't think they have a plan yet, and I think the plan will kind of manifest itself after the Flash
Yeah,
Paradox movie, where they do like a reset of everything.
yeah.
We all know that's what they're trying to go for. Um, so yeah, big news today. Let's talk about freaking Matrix. The Matrix. What is it? Matrix
Resurrections.
Resurrection. There it is.
First of all, for anybody watching, I am a huge, huge, huge
Hmm,
Matrix fan. It is my favorite movie franchise of all time.
really?
Of all time. I love all three movies. I love them all. Every single one of them.
Even
Every
Matrix
single one of
3.
them.
People hated Matrix
Yes.
3.
They can kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. I love all the movies. Because people whine like, why aren't they in the Matrix with the net, it's like, dude, they got to tell the story from all angles. So I mean, we can get into that later.
Yeah,
But
we
I'm
can get
talking I'm
into
talking
that.
about
I
I
will let
I
me
watched all the movies. I played the video games. I played the MMO RPG, the Matrix Online back in the
what?
day. Um,
What?
got the Matrix. I got it all.
I thought you were a huge Star Wars fanboy. It's like, nah,
Matrix.
you're probably the bigger Matrix fanboy than you are Star Wars.
Oh, by
Which
far, yeah.
which by the way, you probably still haven't watched the Bad Batch Star Wars series.
I
Um,
haven't, man. It keeps calling my name, man. So I think
yeah,
I'm
you
gonna have
should
to get
watch it.
on
It's
to
done now. Like the season's over.
it.
So you can binge it. And the episodes aren't crazy long. But yeah, back to Matrix Resolutions. So I'll be honest with you. When I heard they're doing a Matrix 4, I was not excited about it at all.
Me
Right?
neither.
Um, because the story's done, right? Like his
Mhm.
story is done. And regardless of what you think about it, I don't I'm not in love with Matrix 2 and Matrix 3, but I didn't hate it. I mean, Matrix 1 was revolutionary, right? Like
Yeah.
that came out, I think, 2001, um, and or 2001. It came out around the time of like the Mummy, right? Um,
Yeah.
and the the Brendan Fraser and the Mummy, the first one, which I thought was also a good movie as well. Silly, but like just something. I just watched it like the other day. It brings back memories. But The Matrix, right? Like is a revolutionary movie. Like the way they just changed the game,
Yep.
right? With kind of the cinematography has been great. Now um we can kind of criticize it a little bit in 2 or 3, but I mean they're just ahead of their time. They may be too ahead of their time. Um,
Yeah. I
with
mean, when you
the
look at three, when you look at the climax of three, I mean, it almost looks like a video game anyway, like that fight.
yeah
You know what I mean? So it was
yeah
like they were definitely ahead of their time. And I'm not going to deny the fact that the movie steadily went down in quality
yeah
from one to three, but I still love them all.
yeah no
Yeah.
yeah. So I wasn't excited to watch the fourth one, and I watched this trailer and I was like, okay, have my attention, right? Like I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, you have my attention. For what it's worth, at least I'm interested to see the storyline as to how like Neo and Trinity has come back, right? Um,
That's why it's called Resurrections, right?
yeah, it is called Resurrection.
Um,
I will say this too. I'm not gonna pull an Omar and try to like replay the whole like trailer and give my suggestions on it, like poor Omar did with
I feel like this would be. I would be willing to do that for this one. I would be willing to do that for this one. That's how big. Yeah, I'm a huge Matrix fan. I'll be willing to do that for this
Okay, so maybe next time, when more trailers have come out, we'll do that for the Matrix. But oh god, I will say this: it's gonna be out on HBO Max, right? So
Yep.
they're gonna do this. They're gonna do the same dual release thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a
Because the
little
Warner Brothers movie.
concerned, huh?
Because it's
It,
a Warner
it's a
Brothers
Warner
movie.
Brothers movie, yes. I am a little concerned though because Suicide Squad was a really good movie, right? In my opinion, and that kind of suffered from that dual release. Also,
What movie? What movie was good? You
the
said?
Suicide Squad. Remember earlier this week?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
that didn't do well in the box office because a lot of people like because of COVID and um mainly because of COVID and the fact that it was available at home. Like I'm paying $14 a month. Why would I pay like $20 to go to a movie theater when I can
Yeah.
pay $14 and stay in my own home and watch this?
Well, I think we're getting to the point where, just like the music industry had to deal with streaming and figuring out like what, defining like what's redefining what success is for an
Yeah.
album. The movie's gonna do the same thing, man. You can't just be like, oh, I
It's
made 500 million
it's
opening weekend. It's a classic.
so
Not
no, this is
anymore.
actually a good point. So I was reading so Patty Jenkins, she's the director of Wonder Woman, did Wonder Woman 1, Wonder Woman 2. And she was kind of complaining about streaming services, right? Um, and like movies that are coming on the streaming services. And she made a little bit of a good point here. Personally, I'm all for like being able to watch a movie at home, but she made a good point on making a movie for the big screen, right? Like sometimes movies are made for like the big screen. So when I watch like Shang-Chi, right? Actually watched it in the theater, and you definitely don't get that feel at home, right? Especially in the theater
Yeah.
with there's energy there, like people were kind of like some people were kind of clapping and or whatnot. So you don't get that in like at home. So she makes a point
Yeah.
there. To your point too, like a lot of these movies now that are coming out have been made pre-COVID, right? They have been made
Yeah.
with the expectation that they were going to release. Um, Going forward, right? If the movie industry like doesn't fully recover from this, right? To what
Yeah.
you said makes perfect sense, right? They're gonna have to figure out a way where um, all parties are happy here. It does feel like the studios are kind of like last money in, first money out, in the sense that like they're gonna get their cut. So kind of like with Scarlet,
Black
the
Widow.
Black Widow. I keep saying Scarlet Witch. But Black Widow. I think Scarlett Johansson and then Black Widow, but like the and then Scarlet Witch. But yeah, um, for Black Widow, right? You kind of see that saw a little bit, right? Where so much revenue is like made by like the studio. Like Disney got their cut, right? But
Of
like
course.
Scarlett Johansson
Studio
was
always.
complaining, hey, what about my cut? Right. So Disney made like apparently $60 million off of like the premiere access, right? That didn't
Yeah.
go to like Scarlett Johansson probably, right?
Yeah,
So
because that
it's
wasn't in her contract. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's so it's going to be really interesting to see how they kind of figure this out in the
Yep.
future. So I can't wait to well maybe let's wait till another trailer comes out. I'll probably end up watching the fourth Matrix for if not for anything at
We
home.
are most definitely watching and reviewing the fourth
Yeah,
season. I can
I mean
give you
it's
that
at
right now.
home.
That's happening. That's
If
happening.
I have to watch it at home, I can watch it at home. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um, that's what will have me watching it. But
But I mean, dude, so much happened in that trailer. You got a young Morpheus, right? Played by my guy, Yaya, I forget his last
I know what you're
name.
talking about. Yes.
Young Morpheus. which is raises like a whole lot of questions. Like, is this a new iteration of the Matrix?
Well, so
Are
let me
we
ask you
we
this.
going
So do you
back in
know
time?
they still Morpheus is in there is they recast Morpheus, but it looks like they have the same woman as let me see Matrix Revolution. I forgot this woman's name. I cannot believe I blanked this woman's name. I don't want to say this person's wife either because that's just messed up. That's just-
That's how you know her. That's how you know her, man. What are you talking about?
let me Jada Pinkett Smith. There it is. I didn't even pull it up.
Yeah,
I
I
just
think
the
she.
second I just googled it, I'm like Jada Pinkett Smith, right? Um, so Yahya Abdul Mateen is who you're
There
talking
you go.
about as well.
Yep.
So he's in it.
It could be a Morpheus, but like a different Morpheus. Because if it's
Yeah,
a, if it's
it's
a new
interesting.
iteration of the Matrix, you have the same group. You still got to have a Morpheus, right? I mean, it's
Yeah,
so much. And then do you include some of the story from the online Matrix game?
yeah.
A lot of stuff
I
happened there.
we
You
we
know what I
we
mean?
don't know. I will say this. So the Wachowskis is responsible for this movie. I'm not sure. They've had a couple of other movies as well,
Jupiter
um,
ascending,
which was not a good movie at all.
uh,
Oh, I have the list right here. So,
Speed
right,
Racer.
the last movie that they made was Jupiter Ascending, and that was just a terrible movie. The last one, yeah, they haven't had a great movie in a while. So, they had
Yeah.
V for Vendetta. Oh, they weren't directors for that one though. So, yeah,
Well,
we're gonna have to see how this one goes, huh?
only one of them directed this movie. The other
Yes,
one
Lana.
sat it out. Yeah.
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 So, yeah, we're gonna have to see how this one goes. I watched Cloud Atlas. That was like the 2012 movie. I didn't think it was a bad movie, but it didn't get like great ratings. It was a long-winded movie. Um,
That one didn't get me.
yeah,
I never
I don't
watched it.
blame you. It's a long-winded movie. So, but yeah, no, I hope this is a good movie. And we'll see how this one goes. So, oh, I'm almost tempted to like to play the trailer. But at the beginning of the trailer, you see the black cat at the beginning of like the the trailer.
What?
Um,
I don't remember. I'm gonna go. I've already watched it twice. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it.
you're gonna make me do it again. I mean, we're at the end
Do
of the
it.
episode
Do it.
anyway.
Do it. Do it.
We're doing
Do
this.
it.
We're pulling
Do
an
it.
Omar. We're pulling an Omar. I'm about to pull an Omar. All right, let me. All right, I'm just
And you
gonna
know
play.
what? Don't do it because then it will be like we'll have to do with having like all the copyrighted
It's a trailer
material.
though, right? It's a YouTube trailer. We can do that. It's not like we did
Guess you're
last
right.
time.
Okay. Okay.
So I think I
Do
think we're
that
good
shit.
here for a YouTube trailer. So let me go ahead and loud this the fuck up and let's get this going.
I did
It's
not. I can't
trending
believe I
number
missed
one
the
on
cat.
YouTube right now. It's already had 12 hours, already 11 million views. So people are excited to watch this movie. So
Sounds like our premiere episode.
all right, let's get started. You can see the screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we are playing. Cat.
Oh wow. There it is. Okay. It's so choppy though.
Yeah. Oh, it's choppy.
Yeah.
I like the song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's not choppy on the playback on the episode.
Yeah. Well, it's getting choppy now. I don't know what's going on.
Uh, it's cool. But yeah, no, that's good enough.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. I don't know what's going on now. It was working perfectly, and then now it's like being all weird.
It
All right.
might be a
Huh?
Zoom issue. I said it might be a Zoom issue.
Yeah. Um,
No.
yeah, what's going on? All right. Yeah, Zoom's being
But
weird.
the other
Yeah.
thing that happened today, the PlayStation Showcase was today,
Oh, snap. I forgot about that. I've been so freaking
and
busy today. What's going on? Of
dude, I left. I actually had to leave the live stream on pause, of course,
course.
for family stuff. But um,
That family. Don't they understand? We
no,
got important things that are going on here.
dude, Knights. Did you ever play Knights of the Old Republic?
I've watched all the trailers to Next to the Old Republic. It looks good. It looks really good. I haven't played
They're
it
doing
though.
a PS5 remake next year.
I actually
I
might
think
watch
it's
that.
next year.
It's an MMORPG though, right?
No, it's an RPG. It's probably one of the best RPG games I played outside of Final Fantasy.
Knights
Knights
of
of the
the
Old
Old
Republic.
Republic.
Yeah. So it wasn't. It's an MMO. It's an MMORPG two. But it started off as like two Xbox games, like back on
Uh,
the original Xbox.
okay.
And I mean, it went down as a classic. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So when I saw that, when I saw Revan and that mask and that red lightsaber, I was like, and then I texted my brother about it. He was like, it's a PlayStation exclusive. I was like, but he's an Xbox guy. So I was like, well, sucks for
Uh,
you. I'll be playing on my PS5. So yeah, that's the big that was for me, that was the big reveal from what I've seen so far. Then you had God of War, Ragnarok, you had a bunch of other games that look pretty dope.
God of War
Um
Ragnarok.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I need to get in that series. I might just. I, it might be too
You
late for
could
me to start
honestly
playing
you
it from
could
the
play
beginning.
I
Like
mean,
the
if you have
old.
time, I would play all of them. You know what I mean? But if you
Hmm.
don't, if you just start with God of War that came out on PS4, what 2018 ish.
Yeah.
I think if you start with that, then you'll be fine because it touches on what happened to him.
Uh-huh.
But obviously, like if you want the details, yeah, you got to go through those other games. But that was like a kind of almost you could say a soft reboot of sorts.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. He's going
but
against the Norse gods, though, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He already killed one of Thor's sons or something like that.
Damn.
But yeah, no, that's a bad,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you got Horizon Forbidden West
Oh my God.
coming
I'm
out.
so excited about that
Oh,
one.
the other one, Spider-Man 2 coming out.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Venom is in that.
Oh, I'm actually curious to see how that's gonna work because I need to watch this now. Um
Yeah, buddy.
yeah, because Spider-Man 2, so the Miles Morales, I just played that earlier this year. Great game. Great game. Short, very short.
It
I
was
would
meant to be though.
yeah, I mean I not too short. I don't think they're gonna have any like DLCs that come with that game, which is unfortunate because like the first Spider-Man game had like a bunch of DLCs that came with it. This one doesn't seem like it will. I don't think they'll have time for it. But yeah, I'm actually just excited to see how that's gonna go down. To be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
with both
And I'm
Miles
at
Morales,
99% completion on that joint too. I'm very close to to getting 100%
really
on
the
a
Miles
Miles
Morales.
Morales. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I already played it once. I'm not playing New Game Plus on that. I got like 97% with the first Spider-Man. But I wasn't trying to go 100%. So yeah, I needed to. Damn, I didn't get a chance to watch the showcase today too. So I might have to watch the showcase. Might watch that
Yep.
tonight. Did they talk about Final Fantasy at all?
Um, I didn't. I had, like I said, I had to pause it like an hour after
Yeah.
it started. So yeah, I got it on pause upstairs. I'm about to go watch it like right
Uh,
after
nice,
this.
nice. Um,
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Oh, that
Okay.
reminds me. For I know this is weird, sounds some random stuff right now, but for
We're the random
anybody out
portion of
there,
our show.
yeah, right. But for anybody out there who's trying to get like their significant other into playing games, I got a game for you to try. It's called It Takes Two, right? And basically, it's almost like a video game version of like relationship therapy, right? Because it's about this couple, and they're like, it starts out like they're about to get a divorce, and their daughter like makes a wish, and like for her parents to like work it out or whatever, and all of a
Mhm.
sudden, the kids. Are you yawning while I'm talking, man? So
My bad.
disrespectful. So
Fucking.
disrespectful. The parents end up as being like dolls, and they have to like get back to their daughter. And so it's like one of the few like two play games. Like, don't you miss like the old days where you had like you sat next to somebody and you
Yes,
play the game, right?
that's
So it's
true.
meant to be played just like that. And you have the husband and the wife, and you go through all these levels, and you have to like work together to beat the game. It's dope, man. It's a great concept. Like my wife is not a gamer at all, but she's like, I'm addicted to this game right
What?
now. Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I may check that
And the
out.
weekend,
Definitely not for me, my single ass, but
hey, the weekend we started playing, she was like, you know, we play the game, let's play the game. Ready to play the game? Like, yeah, she was on it,
that's what's
man.
up. No, that's glad to hear. Glad to hear that. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well, let's not push this one too much further. We expect this to be around an hour, so a little
Yep.
over that.
Just 12 minutes over. It's not bad.
12 minutes over, so that's all fine.
We're giving
Um,
the people content, man. That's what they want. They want to
we
hear us
give the
talk. They
people
want to
what
hear
they
my
want.
hear our
Yeah.
voice. That's right. But I know y'all are watching football too. So
Yeah.
so you know.
Your Eagles today. Well, they play Sunday, right?
I
Um,
Bucks
actually,
today.
who's
Nobody
playing now?
cares
I
about
think
the Bucks.
it's Tampa Bay and Dallas.
Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. Be the one time this year I root for Tom Brady.
Yeah, I don't think we need to root for. God, if Dallas beat freaking Tampa Bay, we would never hear the end of it. Like, oh my God, yeah,
That's what I'm
but they're not
saying.
going to. Yeah, those guys suck. They're like the most overrated team of like a generation. Oh shit, they're only down by one though, so that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, we'll see how this one works. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Let's sign off. So yeah,
All
thank you
right.
guys for watching. Really appreciate it. We will try to see you as soon as we can. This is we figure out what other content we're gonna show. So it depends if like Nicholas can
Man,
watch
yeah,
Shang-Chi.
we got some stuff coming up because I told you I wanted to do I want to do an episode on gaming. Retro
Yes.
we could do retro gaming, sure.
Hmm.
Then the other episode we gotta have that conversation about the N word.
Oh, that's actually a good one.
Have
Yes.
that one too. So
That's what is that
that
we
should
should
be
have that next. I don't know when that's when your two boys are gonna join on. So
yeah.
let's actually do that. I might see if I can grab some people for that one myself. So that's going to be a very powerful episode um, on that. You can imagine I don't say the N word because I probably sound weird if I said it, but um, but definitely have thoughts
No,
on that.
yeah, me and BK got into that over the weekend.
Hmm.
And it was like just right then and there, like we were just going back and forth. So there's so many different perspectives on it. So
Yeah,
um
absolutely.
I think that'd be going for sure.
Yeah, no,
But
let's do
on
that
like
one. I'm actually
Wednesday.
excited to do that one. All right, cool. All right, y'all. Peace out. Thank you for watching. All right. See